Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the most magical podcast in the Midwest, the Magic in the Midwest podcast, starring USA Today best-selling author J.B. Michaels and his more successful wife, Ashley Michaels. And now, your hosts. Oh, wow. Thanks so much, announcer. I really appreciate you and all you do for us. So I really... Yeah. You are a very special person.
The announcer is pretty cute.
Yeah, he is. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Magic in the Midwest podcast. This is 59th Magic in the Midwest podcast. 59.
Wow.
Yes.
Holy content.
Holy cow. Holy content. Is that the year your mother was born?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that everyone knows now.
Yep, not that she listens, so it doesn't even matter.
She does sometimes.
No one supports you. It's fine. It's no one cares.
I think we need to... Someone has a little bit of an edge today.
I'm kidding. That was funny. So we have the Magic in the Midwest podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we do this podcast every week, and we also have a special program set up where you can subscribe. Magic in the Midwest podcast.bandcamp.com. For as little as $3 a month, you gain access to lots of other exclusive content that we also record. Those are fun, a little more loose, a little more ridiculous, a little more probably not more ridiculous than normal, but they're fun. They're very fun. Mm-hmm. So check those out. Also, we have a lot of sponsors. I also write books. I've got 14 of them. Cozy mysteries, action adventures, thrillers, multi-award-winning, collection of my books. So check out J.B. Michaels on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere books are sold.
Yeah, there's a few different series too. So there's really something for everyone. So you should check them out.
Yes. So please check that out. I should start just putting a link. Why did not
in the show notes?
Yeah, I'll put links in the show notes to where you could check them out. All right. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we're also on every podcast platform. One thing we really could use is, your help in some ways, like in regards to sharing the podcast if you really enjoy the content. We like to give something positive to the world. We think that, it's funny and it's a good time. So if you could share the podcast with your friends, your family, fellow Disney fans, groups. It's one of those weird things. Like if you're in a Facebook group, you can't self-promote yourself a lot of the time, unless it's one of those specific ones, which are stupid.
Which then no one else is.
No one else cares. They're there to self-promote. So if you are part of like a Disney Parks group, gosh, would it be wonderful if you guys said, hey, these two are hilarious and they love Disney.
Assuming that all that is true.
That is definitely true. So, if you love the podcast, share it with other people. Share the love. We really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who subscribes and listens.
And who has shared in the past.
And also has rated the podcast on Apple Podcasts. That also is big. I think we're up to like 11 ratings at this point.
Something like that, yeah.
And after over a year of doing it, we're going to really try our efforts in the next year to really try and bump our footprint, because we feel like we have a lot of content now. We have social proof that, we're not just going to be, a podcast that kind of just dies out and then you're like looking for your podcast fix and it's not there and you're like, what is happening? Definitely that. Also, Ash, we have met lots of great people through the podcast, one of which is...
Emily. If you are interested in planning something, a trip to Universal or Disney, she is someone that you should contact. She is a vacation planner, but she specializes in Disney and Universal. But she could, like I said, she can book all travel, including cruises, although I don't think many cruises are booked out just quite yet, but keep that in mind for the future. And she can help you with all the stuff, the dining, the fast passes, and monitor for savings. She can hook you up with airport transfers, and she can create a customized itinerary for you and your family. She is wonderful. She's very knowledgeable, very sweet. We really like her. We met her through the podcast. And then if you do work with her, you get a free, no obligation quote. And you can contact her via email at emily@magicalmousetravel.com.
Yes.
So, and then if you do, just let her know that we sent you over.
Yeah, Emily has helped us in the past. And plus, like, okay, this is good. I'm just gonna do this. All right, so one thing I also really value, and especially, my other, we do a lot of things. We are people that work very hard and do different things. I'm also in insurance. So I'm also a producer, right? An account executive, whatever you want to say. And we deal with people every day. And I'm telling you, there is nothing like finding somebody that appreciates the golden rule, which is treat others, right? Kindly, as if, I just feel like that's something that gets lost when we're behind our screens, and we could just be mean to each other and emotionally react to things and just have negative energy. You could, if you want to, just go down a wormhole of negative energy, on your phone, on any platform that, does help a lot of things, but also does a lot of harm as well. And one thing is refreshing is finding good people. Emily is good people.
She is.
Matt, who we just did the special edition podcast interview with, he's good people.
Side note, real quick, if you have not listened to that, it's a great, quick podcast to listen to. It's like 20 minutes, and it's just great. So yeah, it's
really fun. It's really good. And that's that's something that we are going to continue to do. We've got another person lined up to do another special edition number 2 podcast. And it's just something like, you gotta find quality people, and I just feel like that's a really important thing.
It is. I 100% agree, and I think that, we all have our moments, for sure, right? But it's about what you do most of the time. And
right.
What you put out there matters.
It does.
It does. And we kind of had an experience like that over the weekend. But it matters the kind of energy you're putting out there, and that will attract the people that are attracted to you, So just good people.
Yeah.
Good vibes, good people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we just want to say we appreciate all the, everybody, and we, you guys listening, and, we hope that we could help your week and your day, either if you're listening while you're commuting to work, or you're listening at home while you're doing stuff at home, or working from home, whatever it may be.
Hiding from your kids upstairs.
Yeah, we've all been through a lot as a world, and the past year and a half or so. So, I just want to let everyone know that.
Yeah, and going off of what JB said earlier too, is we always get the biggest bumps when someone shares something on social media or shares something in a group or with their friends. We always can tell with the downloads we have, and we get a lot of new listeners, which is really nice, just because this is something that makes us happy. This is us putting positive vibes out. It's something we love talking about. We look forward to it every single week, and so and we fortunately have great listen through. People that listen to us tend to keep listening.
They do listen to other ones, which is great.
So,
most of the other ones.
If you've done that before, thank you, and yeah.
All right, so on to the show. So we are back at Universal Studios, Florida, which Ash and I did an overview episode a couple podcasts ago, and the overview episode basically kind of touched upon the history of Universal Studios Florida, the Universal Studios Florida that I loved as a child. And now things are a little different at Universal Studios Florida. It's the original park in the Orlando, out of the 2 Orlando parks, soon to be 3 with Epic Universe coming out. So there is, like, Ash asked me a couple years ago. She was like, "Which one do you like better, Islands or Studios?" And I, like, without missing a beat, said Studios. And then she asked me to kind of reflect. It might have been on the podcast. She asked me to reflect, like, why exactly.
It was when we were there.
Right. You're like, why
Walking
exactly
around,
do you like this better than Islands? And then that's where I kind of, my tongue got sort of tied, because I was like,
well, you were remembering the studios that was.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So I was remembering Jaws and Kong, Frontation, and Back to the Future. Things that I was closely tied to growing up. Mm-hmm. Like, and going to the movie house, as Harrison calls it. And just experiencing. So I think that has changed, right? So it's different now. Now it's still, in a way, it still adapts to the kids of today and what they like, too. So now, what's cool about Universal Studios Florida is City Walk. Like, you basically go through City Walk, and then you hang a right, and then you go over, and then you see the globe. Right. The awesome spinning globe with the waterfall,
where everyone
water
takes
around
the
it.
pictures.
Everybody takes the pictures there. You see the archways.
Yeah.
The famous Hollywood archways, which are just, it's a whole row of arches, really.
Right.
And then it says Universal Studios Florida. And so, like, that particular area is iconic to me. Like, I love the entrance to Universal Studios Florida.
Me too.
Like, I love it. And the other reason I love it is they pipe in the music that plays when you're getting into the park. And it's usually it's Back to the Future, and then it's you get all these, like, that John Williams and Alan Silvestri, like,
epic soundtracks.
Big
epic
soundtracks of the movies that made the place.
Yep.
So, like, that, like, really hooks me. And I also love at Horror Nights, the entryway has the banners of all the different houses.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, like, different designs. And then there's oftentimes, like, if you've noticed, I don't know if you noticed the last time, like, HHN in the Tribute store, sometimes there's stuff that they create, like, graphic design-wise, and, like those pumpkins that one year. There's, like, designs up on the banners that really the only place they were found was up on the banners and then on a shirt in the Tribute store. There is no, like, house.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So sometimes they have alternate logos
Yes.
of that particular year.
Which is cool.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah, like an original type thing.
And sometimes you don't... those are the only places you see that work, is on the banners and...
Right.
And then inside the Tribute store on some shirt that's sort of random. I mean, that Tribute store, like, I could spend $1 bajillion in there with Horror Nights.
At least.
I mean, it's amazing.
A bajillion.
Yeah, a bajil. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. Even though the Tribute store is technically, like, really close to the first area of the park. So you walk in, it's nothing special. And I think it was done purposely. It was supposed to be like this. There's no castle, right?
Right.
There's no Spaceship Earth. There's no Tree of Life. Okay, and you basically walk out and you're seeing the backside of, like, studios. You're in a studio lot.
Right.
As soon as you walk in, which
makes sense.
Totally consistent with which I totally understand. So it's called Production Central. That's where you first come in. And this area used to be where the Alfred Hitchcock Presents,
Okay.
like amphitheater was, like the whole experience was. There was a Lucy store, tribute store, that was there for years.
What's going on with your nose?
I don't know. And now there's like Hello Kitty, lots of blow, Ash, lots of blow. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yikes.
Anyway, so the Lucy tribute store used to be there, and now it's like Hello Kitty or something. And then there was Starring Roles Cafe, which now is the Today Show Cafe, right? And then the Universal Studios store,
Okay.
right when you walk in.
Right.
Yeah, those are all the things.
Yes.
All right, so then you have Production Central. Here you have the show Shrek 4D. Okay.
Never seen it.
You've never seen it.
No.
I think I've seen it once, a long time ago. Now, here's how we're going to have to tackle this, because a lot of this stuff we both haven't seen, and a lot of this stuff I don't think you've seen any of it, to be honest.
Great. I'm a huge asset to today's
You are,
pod.
yeah, but you are, because there's other things we could talk about with it.
Okay.
Shrek 4D. What do you think of just the Shrek franchise in general? I mean,
At this point now, I'm not crazy about it. When it first came out and I was younger and like thought I was a little bit edgier, I enjoyed it more than I do now, but never a ton. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, you have to see Shrek. It's so great.
There's like 6 of those.
You know what's odd to me is, I mean, it's been there for a long time. And out of all the things that could be there for a long time, it's Shrek.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, yeah. I never...
I don't think of it as that. I think of it as the house that Halloween 4 was in the first time I ever went to Halloween Horror Nights. And it just occupies a space that they probably won't change unless it's necessary. Like, I'm pretty sure they do with all of studios.
Right. Yes. We'll talk about that.
Most of studios. But yeah, I mean, I this would not be something that I'd be like, I need to see this.
Yeah.
I don't have any... There are some things, like Rip Ride Rocket, I'll go on a little bit, where I would want to experience at least once.
Right.
Not with Shrek.
Right.
Don't need
So, good point. And I know people are going to say, oh, you guys are like, you know, because Shrek makes fun of Disney, you guys don't like Shrek. Yeah, the whole point of Shrek is to make fun of Disney.
Okay.
Like, there are so many jabs at Disney in Shrek 1. And all of them.
See, I haven't really watched it recently, though. I
tried watching it with Harrison.
I
tried watching it with Harrison, and I just
See,
like, I didn't enjoy it.
To me, I don't mind if someone makes jabs at Disney. That's totally fine.
Right.
It's more about how well it's done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's a key.
I don't know. It's just not my type of, you know.
It's not your cup of tea.
Humor. I mean, there were some parts that were funny, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay.
To each their own.
And exactly. Some people absolutely adore Shrek, and this is like part of their every trip, which we get.
Totally.
So yeah, Shrek to me as well is not great. The show is like got lots of like, you know, effects in it. You know, like very similar to like It's a Bug's Life or Honey, We Shrunk the Audience and stuff like that. Okay, then there's Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, which is again, this one I think is a little bit more like it moves more. Like I think it's sort of a semi-simulator type of thing.
Okay.
With the Minions.
Like Spider-Man? Or no?
It's sort of like that. I think this used to be the Hanna-Barbera like experience where there was all these Yogi and Flintstones and all of them like together, and you went through this like big. It was like the whole theater kind of like rumbles and moves and with the screen.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's on like a huge gimbal, I guess is what you could call it. And you know, it's. What's cool about it is I like that where this is, they built Gru's house.
Right.
That's cool.
Yes, it is cool.
Like that's Harrison immediately will take to that.
Yes.
You know, he will really like that. What do you think of the Despicable Me franchise?
I like it.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do like it.
I like 2 the most. I think I like Despicable Me 2 the most.
Yeah, but you know what?
I've never seen 3. Did you see 3?
I have seen 3. It's not the strongest.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's stronger than other, like, third movies I've seen. So, I mean, it's not horrible.
Okay.
I would say it's good. I think Minions is cute. I like I like Minions. I mean, I think it's solid.
Okay. All right. So, Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem. It's very, from what I hear, it's very like sensory overload.
Okay. Interesting.
That's what people say.
All right.
So it's weird. You start out in the park and you are met with 2 shows immediately, like big theater shows, which I guess makes sense considering you're at Universal Studios. So and they're based on movie franchises, which does fit, and they're all Universal film franchise. Well, DreamWorks, but I think DreamWorks is now owned by Universal. So, all right, and then Transformers: The Ride 3D.
I like Transformers.
Yeah,
never done the ride.
The ride is very. We've talked about this, I think, in another podcast. It's very similar to Spider-Man.
Okay.
Except the Allspark is, missing or whatever, and they've got Megatron gets it, and it's fun. I mean, I think it's definitely cool. Like,
yeah, I would be.
I think if you like Spider-Man, you'll like it. And the one cool thing about this area is the awesome Transformer walk around guys.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, those are incredible.
Very cool.
Universal really nailed that.
They did.
Those Transformers are neat. When you see them in the park, it's cool to take pictures with them. But it is weird to me. So this is where we start getting into the weeds. Okay, with Universal Studios Florida, which I guess from the very beginning there were licensed, properties. But this is definitely one of those licensed properties with Transformers. Paramount owns the film rights to Transformers.
Right.
So really you're getting like a loan of a Paramount franchise in a Universal Studios park.
Right.
Which is weird to me.
It is.
But I guess I get it. I mean, I think Universal's idea was to, get popular film franchises, make an attraction out of them, right? And just go from there.
Right. So,
Transformers movies are fun. I mean, none of them are terrible. I mean, I guess what are you expecting? I guess you got to think about that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you expecting from Transformers movies? I don't know. Okay, and then the last one in this area, and then we'll move into the next area. The last ride in this area is Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Ash has not been on it. She wants to go on it. I have been on it. This is one of my least favorite attractions. Period. It's just period.
Ever.
Yeah.
Of all
and
time.
Shout out to another, podcaster, vlogger, Theme Park History.
Yes.
Has a great video about this ride, which I think everybody should go check him out on YouTube. Theme Park History. Yeah. Really great content. We should reach out to him. Or them. I don't know if there's multiple of them. And, the weird thing about Rip Ride Rocket to me is it is totally, completely random. Like, I guess they're calling it Hollywood. I guess that fits with studios.
Just the name.
But I don't like the actual ride. Like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's
one of those coasters that, it's not enjoyable. Like, remember when we went on Goliath?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, Six Flags, Great America.
Has all these, cool things that they advertise, but it was not comfortable at all.
No.
That's what Rip Ride Rocket's like. It's just discomfort,
it's discomfort.
Yeah, and then
Right.
it's just sort of covered by you can pick your song.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I think it's just Hollywood Rip Ride, suck it. It's
Whoa.
that bad. It's that bad. I really dislike it.
Suck
And
like David Wallace's
right,
company?
David Wallace's company. You're absolutely right. From The Office.
Suck it.
Yeah, suck it. So and Degeneration X. So you. What else I don't like about Ash
Tell me.
is the track is all over the damn place. It's like
It is.
all
I mean, they
over
just
the park.
squeezed it in.
It's just like
everywhere.
ruins the theming.
You see,
beyond
like, the
belief.
back part of it, like, way back at that one entrance.
Right,
Like,
so
way
when you're
back
at
over there.
HHN, the big sound stage where they
Yes.
have like Poltergeist was.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
it just stretches back over, and there's, like, this wall. I'm doing air quotes that it breaks through. That's just, like, this random wall.
Right. It's just not. I mean, Universal does a lot of. Listen, they just from what people are saying, Velocicoaster is the best thrill coaster like of all time. So that's great. They've since fixed the issue. I wish they would just take this guy down. Let's
do something themed.
let's
do
just get
something
rid of
cool.
it. Let's just get rid
Right?
of it.
Hagrid's was a win. Velocicoaster's a win. Do something there that,
Right.
would be better, which would be
I
almost
would-
anything.
Yeah, maybe tear it down and just redo it, or just tear it down. Just get rid of it.
Right. Maybe you and I could have like a little podcast
Petition.
station over there.
Petition, Hollywood Rip
We
Ride,
could be
suck it.
hired and be famous
I don't-
Universal people.
I'll be honest. I know no one, and we have a lot. Our group of friends are big time Universal people. Mm-hmm. None of them. I don't know any of them that say they like love Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. I don't.
No, they
nobody.
really just do it if there's not really a wait.
Right.
Like 5 minutes, I'll just go on it.
Right. It's not a like particularly sought out attraction.
Well, and I think aside from Hagrid's and now Velocicoaster, it's like the one coaster, right?
in that area.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that
so
park.
it was like, the
Well,
real
Mummy.
right?
Mummy.
Oh yeah, no. Mommy's way better.
Mummy's a coaster.
It
I
is.
think.
It is.
So
You're right.
I think you could definitely call it a coaster.
No, you're right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Okay.
So yeah, I don't
I
like.
also think people just go on it because it's there.
I don't like looking at it. I guess it's sort of cool at night with the lights. That like streaky lights thing that they have on the trains. But other than that, like just
I'm
yeah.
sure the time I do it will be the time, and that's
Yeah,
it. But
probably. I don't know how much longer they're going to keep it going.
Oh, you think that? I know they've had like issues, right? It's shut down a few times.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that they want to keep it open, but I mean, I don't know how much the capacity it really sucks up either, because those trains aren't
short. There's only 2 like connecting things, and I think it's like 2 or 3 rows of 2.
right.
It's like literally 12 people all together on each train.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's it.
it is. It is it. So, I don't know.
So if the line's only 5 minutes, no one's going on it. Literally no one.
Right. So yeah, literally. That's just. So I know. I guess we've talked ad nauseum, I guess, right now about how much it's not great. But what else I don't like about it too is that like that initial launch going up, you're just.
I mean, it's literally
straight
straight up.
Like you just feel the weight of gravity, and then it's not pleasant.
Okay.
Not
You know what I will say, though? At least the headrest goes up that high. That other roller coaster we were on, there was literally no headrest behind us. So when we were going up the thing that was like straight up the hill, you had to hold
Right.
up your own head, which sounds like it
Yeah.
would be easy to do, but it was a lot of neck work.
Yeah, and you've got a long neck.
I do.
So for you,
the lever is long.
yeah, for you that's a legit issue.
It was a chore.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, and your head is giant.
It is. So, Production Central, kind of neat. I mean, in some ways, it used to have. Oh no, it's not. That's not correct. Because like Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket is like pretty far in, and then you get to New York. So this is the next area is New York.
Right.
And what you find in New York, Ash, is some of our faves. Okay, in the New York section, which I think out of all of the themed areas in Universal Studios Florida that are originally there, obviously we're going to separate Diagon Alley for now because that, of course,
I think it's his own
wins
thing.
everything, right? It's amazing. But New York, I think, is the next best, like as far as theming.
I need to, what's in there? I need a little refresh.
So New York has Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon,
Okay, I've never done that either.
which everyone dislikes. But this was the first type of ride where they tried to do the queueless, like a queueless ride.
And how did that go?
I guess it's sort of cool. People just kind of wait around in like a waiting area, and I mean, you're still waiting. It's still a queue, but but you're like in this area with the Tonight Show memorabilia all around.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Which is cool. It's an attempt to do something different, And I guess Jimmy Fallon does give it his all, trying to make it fun, But it's
I like him.
It's another screen simulator, right?
That's
Where you're just kind of racing around New York, I guess. So, and then of course we have our fave of this park, or maybe not, I don't know, Revenge of the Mummy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Mummy's great.
It is. We're going to go back to that in a minute. And then we got the Blues Brothers show that happens on the street in New York. Dining, shopping areas. This is where they had our favorite scare zone, the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Where they would do the
was
Thriller
so great.
dance at HHN the last couple times.
HHN 2018
Yeah.
has ruined basically how I feel about HHN because it was so good.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was 80s themed. It had
It was the
Stranger
first year they really
Things.
did it.
It was so good.
It was.
So good.
Really well done. All right.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to talk too much about Race Through New York, except, Ash, this is going to make you real sad. Okay?
What?
I'm gonna do a little quiz for you, pop quiz. It used to be this attraction. You ready?
Oh, no.
It's already here. What
Wait,
movie
why do
is
I
that
not know
from?
what that is?
It's already here. What's that from?
Why can I not
What
think
movie?
of what it is?
What movie?
I don't know.
Okay, let me see if I can give you.
I feel like I know
Let me
that, but I
give you
just
another
can't.
line.
It's just too. My brain is.
Okay, let me give you. I'll give you one of the
Why do
actors
I? Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
that's in the movie.
Okay.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is in the movie. If you need another lifeline, let me know. So you've had. It's already here.
Okay. I don't. I mean.
Philip Seymour Hoffman
Just.
and Helen Hunt.
I don't know.
Bill Paxton.
Oh,
Come on!
Twister.
Twister!
I don't know why
It's
I put
already
it.
here.
Oh, how did I not get that? I'm so upset
It's already
with myself.
here. All right, guys.
Love Twister. It's
Humans being.
ridiculous and amazing.
It is. All right, so Twister, a huge hit for Universal. Totally took everybody by surprise, too. Like, I don't think Universal was expecting Twister to be as popular as it was. But it came out in the mid-90s.
Oh my God.
And for that summer, it was a big, big time hit.
I remember when it came out.
It came out Memorial Day weekend, I think, of the year it came out, which is, 95, 94? Something like that. I think maybe 95. And Bill Paxton, rest in peace, and Helen Hunt, and Philip Seymour, great cast of people, of really good actors.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a fun, it was a fun movie.
I mean, we just watched it not that long ago.
Right.
And
I mean,
we were
it's just
laughing.
It's,
It was
yeah,
great.
it's cheesy. It's fun.
entertaining.
It's entertainment. It's summer blockbuster entertainment.
Yep.
And there used to be, where Race Through New York. Why can't I say that? New York? What is wrong with me?
It's okay.
What is wrong with me?
I couldn't get that.
What is wrong
It's
with
already here. Because that's like my favorite line of the whole movie.
So,
I'm embarrassed.
do you remember going in? Do you remember going into Twister?
No.
The
we did not.
experience?
Nope.
Okay. So, there was Twister, the experience, right? Where you waited in line, and then you basically went into a sound stage, and a legit kind of like earthquake, where the whole thing, like, you know, there's special effects on display, really, and a huge twister is actually formed on the stage, and you're basically standing. It's a standing attraction. You just walk in, there's a couple rows of people, and you're just looking at the stage, and a twister comes in and just wipes it out.
Oh, cool.
And it wipes out the whole stage, and like the sign falls, like it's the scene where they're watching The Shining.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that whole scene is recreated in Twister. You know,
cool.
The experience. Yeah.
Was it well received? Was this something that people liked?
People liked it. I think people did really like it. I liked it. It also was a great place to like go cool off. They literally would just blow cool air at you because Twister.
Right.
So you're experiencing a big storm, a tornado. So it was really neat. And then, of course, you walked out into the Twister store, and there were cows. They sold the cows. There was a bunch of cow merchandise everywhere.
Interesting.
Which was fun.
Yeah.
Right, because of the cow spinning around the Twister.
Flying.
So rest in peace, Twister. Another great attraction and Universal property. Mm-hmm. Gone from the park. All right, and then Revenge of the Mummy. What do we think about it? We've talked about it before.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, Revenge of the Mummy took the place of Confrontation, which, of course, I of course, have a very strong nostalgia for because my grandfather and my grandmother introduced me to King Kong, so I just love King Kong. I'm glad he's back over in Islands.
Yes.
So I'm glad he's not completely gone. Okay.
True.
But he was there in his full 30-foot glory, for many, many years, right? From like the beginning of the park to, I think it was there for maybe 10 or so years, maybe a little less. So it was very impressive. Well, just go check out Confrontation on YouTube, everybody. So Revenge of the Mummy comes in, Ash. This is probably one of Universal's absolute best.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think? I
completely agree. I was very excited to go on it for the first time, and it's still over-delivered, I felt like. It's,
It's so fun.
It is. It's so fun. Yeah. And because of the nature of the kind of ride it is, it tends to be a little bit more, it's harder to like memorize, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's a great experience every time you go on it. Yeah. It's just great. It's thrilling. It's fun. It's
really a cool combo of a dark ride, like Dinosaur almost, and a coaster.
Right. This isn't just like straight up Space Mountain or just like. So it's not just a roller coaster, and it's not.
It's
just
also
like
in
a
the
slow
dark
ride.
It's a combination.
Yeah, and it surprises you.
It's incredibly well designed.
Very much so.
And I don't think. No, I don't know, but I really think this one is maybe a classic that Universal is just willing to keep because it's so good.
It is
so good. Mm-hmm. And basically, it's you're going into the Museum of Natural History. I think like that's where the stuff is. It's just well done. The line queue itself is really neat, right? Because you could do those things where you press the button and it shoots air out at people. You can see a camera, and you're seeing what you're doing to people further up in the line in the queue, like all the curses of everything. Mm-hmm. So that is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's just everything about the Mummy. The Mummy is like, and I don't want to say that. But it's like super well themed.
Yep.
It feels different from Rip Ride Rocket and those other things. Like it feels very different. Like it's got a very theme park way about it. Like, it's highly detailed. And then you got the Anubis statue that's like crumbling, like falling into the area that it's in. It's like held up by ropes.
Right.
When you get closer, lots of cool Egyptian artifacts and hieroglyphics everywhere, and the kind of creepy music. And obviously this is based off the Stephen Sommers, Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, mummy movies. So that's kind of where you're coming from. So you kind of have some context as this is more of a B movie take, right, on the Mummy. Like it's sort of just a fun B movie role of the Mummy.
But a great B movie.
But really fun, special effects driven entertainment.
And you know what? I'm remembering things as we're talking. Like sometimes the track is moving and you're supposed to know it's moving, but there's also things around you that are happening, like fire and other things, and you have no idea what's about to happen. Are you going to shoot forwards or backwards? Because you're in the dark, and the coaster does all sorts of things. So it's like, it's just a great ride.
It is. And it's also, I love the tongue-in-cheek type approach to it as well. Like that guy that gets the tourist who the Mummy gets, like when you're in that first room.
Right.
So you see the Mummies, like, the Mummy come out of the sarcophagus, and he's like, your soul is mine. He grabs the tourist with the Universal hat on.
Right.
And it just, all hell breaks loose, and, not even the Magi can save you now. Like, it's just so much fun.
It is.
And then there's even a launch in it.
Oh yeah.
There's a launch. There's a couple kind of launches,
that
actually.
Ride was, you guys were all really excited. It was the first time I was going on it, and it was just, high reviews from everyone, and you know how that can be when that happens. Sometimes it doesn't deliver, but it was just so good, and it, a lot of things that I just didn't expect happened on that ride.
Yeah.
So
great music. Yeah, some cool unexpected things. No spoilers for people who've never
one
been
spoiler, it doesn't have black sheets, but still delivered.
No black sheets.
Or neon dino heads, as far as I could tell. Yes.
And I love the music at the end from Mummy Returns and the Brendan Fraser gag that they have at the end. Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 it's just really, it's like, honestly, it's one of those rides where I could just stay on it. Mm-hmm. Like, I love it that much.
And it's intense.
It is. Kicks your butt.
You know what? And I knew that the second time we went on it, and I was like, I forgot how intense that was.
Yeah. So great.
Really good.
So that's, wow. So we, obviously, Ash and I both give that, 10s. I mean, I'm guessing we're giving it A's and 10s. And,
yes, A's and 10s.
A's and 10s. A's and 10s. Sorry.
What's happening?
It's just, it's my notifications are set to just repeat until I clear it. So that's what's happening.
Okay.
And then, so we also have the Blues Brothers show, Finnegans Restaurant in New York. Blues Brothers show is really cool. Obviously, I'm from Chicago, so that's where the Blues Brothers was filmed. And I like that they actually still have the Bluesmobile actually drives down the street, and I mean, that's cool. I hope they, that's something also I hope they don't get rid of, because people, probably a lot of kids don't have any idea, who the Blues Brothers are.
Yeah. They
have to be educated in some way, right? Or their parents
just like over at Hollywood Studios, a lot of kids don't know who Aerosmith is.
Right.
And they don't.
So it's good. I like that they have that. The show is really fun, and it's a fun dance party out on the street in New York. Finnegans is cool. It's a good Irish pub. It's solid food. It's a sit-down restaurant. One of the very few. I mean, there's not that many.
Right,
really,
inside.
In the parks themselves. So Finnegans I really like. Also, it's a bar, full-service bar, which
a lot of people like.
Because we went back there one of our HHN trips.
Between every single house.
Yes, which we're not... we cannot do that again. That was just ridiculous.
We can't tell them they can't do it.
I'm not
We don't have to do it.
I'm not doing it. But yeah, Finnegans is really fun. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool things about New York. I think it's a very well detailed section of the park. I do enjoy it. So there you go. So that's good for now, Ash, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Well, we could cover more stuff. If we missed anything in New York, we will touch upon it when we get back to Universal Studios, Florida.
Sounds good.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please rate and review us again on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, wherever you guys listen to the podcast. We would really appreciate it if you could rate it. Also, check out the Bandcamp exclusive stuff. Lots of extra content for you guys behind a very minimal paywall of just $3.
Yep.
Which is
a month.
Really not that much for 30 to 31 days of awesomeness and
Indeed.
1 month of 28, sometimes 29. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Midwest, see you later.